Hey everybody, welcome. It's Karen Lanoue from No Limits Businesswoman, and here you are in my office with me on a Monday afternoon. It's really great to have you here. Today, our topic is how to ask for what you want and get it. And look, this is what I teach. This is what I've been sharing with my clients forever now. Really, in the last 12 years in my business. But actually, I used to teach this when I worked in the HR field as well. I used to do classes on this, basically in terms of, again, how to attract what you want, how to get what you want. And so I'm going to be really quick here today, but because this is a huge topic, and yet it's very simple at the very same time. How to ask for what you want. It really comes down to being really crystal clear about what it is that you would like to have. So in your business, let's talk about business. So what is it that you really would like to have that you don't have right now? So would you like to have more clients? Would you like to have more opportunities? You'd like to speak more, perhaps. You would like to get more gigs. You would like to hire the right people. Maybe again, it's a promotion. Maybe you want to get up to that new level, and that promotion in your job. You want to actually take some quantum leaps, some big steps forward to do something you haven't done before. And so if you know those things, and that's something that's easy to be crystal clear about. It's like, okay, this is what I want. So these are the things I want to do. So how do you ask for it and then get it? Well, part of it is really, again, being really crystal clear about that. But let me just backtrack for a second. Of course, when we don't do this, lots of people, you see people, and we've done this maybe very easily through our life, or we have, things have just come naturally to us. And now all of a sudden it doesn't happen for us anymore. And part of it is that's because we kind of took we've taken the blue pill, let's say, the red pill or the blue pill in the Matrix. And I don't know which is which, but anyways, I'm a Matrix fan, but I'm not I don't know it that well. But anyways, when you start to live in this dimension of spirituality, where you're actually becoming more and more aware, you can't go back. And so when you can't go back, what ends up happening is that it's like there's a part of our consciousness, or you could say it's the universe or God or whoever, that's saying, you know too much. You can't just play dumb anymore. You can't just say, oh, I just want to have this, and not paying any attention to how you're actually taking action on this. So then all of a sudden we get to this point in life, and this is what I find for a lot of the gals that I work with, a lot of people that I've worked with over time, is that you get to this point, you're moving along, you've learned lots, but all of a sudden it's just not happening before. And it really isn't an age thing. It's actually a mindset thing. And so when we're asking for what we want, it really is a mindset thing. It really is all about mindset. And so if we don't get this right, then again, we start looping around. We start repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, a month goes by, 6 months goes by, a year goes by, 5 years goes by, a decade goes by. I've seen where, we've been trying to learn these things, and yet if we're not mastering our mindset, things don't change. And so that's one of the reasons that I actually created the Year of Wow journal. Because what this does, and I know it's backwards because Facebook doesn't, in the lives, it doesn't flip the image. But anyways, the Year of Wow, one of the reason I created this was really mostly for me to begin with, because I needed something to actually track my mindset and keep me on track that way. And if you're interested in knowing more about this, just go to nolimitsbusinesswoman.com/Year of Wow. And there's also links on my pages as well. But again, it's really about setting out and monitoring and tracking your mindset. So because we're always asking every day, as soon as we start to observe our outer world, we're asking. We're actually we're reaffirming what's happening on the outside. We're reaffirming what is happening to us. Well, to change that, to change what is happening on the outside of us, We have to change ourselves internally. And we have to start asking different questions. We have to keep our focus in a very different way. And the most important part of this is that we really do have to add emotion into it. Because when you think about this, if you're, think about when you are worried about paying the bills. It's like this tightening goes, it's just like this constriction or inner cord just goes, it's just like it gets shrink wrapped, right? And it's like, oh, I can't pay it. And there's a lot of emotion around that. And of course we're observing it, and observing it is really the same as asking for it. I know, it's odd. But anyways, but it is the truth. This is what happens over and over and over again. This has happened in my life constantly. I have to constantly be watching out for this. This is what I see when I help my clients to change things, to change out of that constant observation and actually start to direct and be very deliberate about what they're asking for and very deliberate about how they're asking for it and getting into that emotion of it. This is when all of a sudden things flip and things change, right? I've done I used to do lots of one-off sessions with people, and in the session they would come out and they'd feel great. They go, yeah, all right, this is wonderful, and amazing things would happen right away. But then it would go back to the way it used to be. So why is that? Well, it's because they started to again practice what their baseline emotions are, what their baseline focus is. And so they keep practicing what they don't want over and over again. The trick is you need to practice in your mind and in your heart, again, with your emotions. You need to practice what you want on an ongoing basis. You need to practice that over and over again. Simple, but easier said than done, right? This is a constant practice for me. This is a constant thing in terms of, again, my year of wow journal. I have to really stay on track of things. I have to keep clearing out the beliefs, the stories that I have. That's the same for you. That's one of the things you really need to do. You need to keep clearing out the stories that are keeping you small, that are keeping you stuck where you are. So when you are asking for what you want, and again, focusing and to me, I one of the things I teach in the No Limits Mastermind is how to create a little mind movie that works for you, right? So it's something that you are, it's just maybe 10, 20 seconds of just something that's happened like after you have attained the thing that you want. And so this is a form of asking. It's just imagine what it's like after. What's the first thing that happens after the fact? And look, I'm not saying anything new. This is Neville Goddard, Abraham Hicks, all these people, they've been talking about this stuff forever, right? This has been around, but it's just, you have to practice it. You have to keep on an ongoing time over and over again. Sorry, my computer just went funny and dead. And just whoop, poof. So again, you need to keep practicing in that, and again, reminding yourself that this is the thing that I'm really interested in. This is the thing I want. This is the thing that I am devoting my just a little bit of time and energy to a few times a day, where I can really get pumped up about it. So again, what would it be like to have more clients? So what's the first thing that happens right after you get a new client? What does that feel like? Who do you tell? How do you share that? For me, it's, I'll text Jeff and I'll say, hey, Pook, I got a new client, or he'll come home and I'll high five him and say, hey, Pook, I got a new client, or I'll call, we'll be on the phone. And that's what I practice in my mind over and over and over again. And at the excitement and the excitement that I see in his eyes, and just the excitement that I feel that, wow, I get to help a new person transform their life and their business. So when you can get into that state, changes everything. Again, simple, but not easy. You can do this. It's just really about staying in that process over and over again and often, because when you do that, what you're asking for has to show up. You've seen it happen in your life. I know you've seen it. You didn't get this far without having this actually happen in your life to this point. Now, there's lots of things happen because that just happened. Like, you thought about it and it just happened. And part of that is just because you had no attachment to it. you had some emotion at the point thinking, wow, that would be kind of cool. And then it just showed up because there was nothing in the way. There was no resistance whatsoever. And so really what does stop us is that resistance. Again, it's lack of focus, being distracted, and having some resistance, having some things, some stories that keep getting in the way. So you want to keep finding a way to actually move through that. One of the things that I do, I share the QC3 method, and I also share it in the book, A Year of Wow. But one of the things that I do with my clients all the time, every time we meet, is we are going through, okay, what's stopping you? What are your stories that are coming up? And then what are the strategies to get around that? So part of it is the QC3 method. And again, that's just three of the tools start with Q, and 3 of them start with C. And so that's it. But the clearing process is so darn powerful, that when you clear out those stories, clear out the energy of those stories, all of a sudden that resistance disappears, and then you start to end up getting what you want. So my question to you then is, if you know how to do this and you're still not getting what you want, then are you doing it enough? Are you actually clearing what you need to clear? Because what I find for most people is that I talked with one of my clients yesterday and just revealed something to her. She was talking about this particular problem that she was having, and I suggested that perhaps she could change her thinking, and they gave her an alternative about what she could be thinking about, or how she could look at this particular problem. And she just stopped and went, oh my God, why did I never see that before? Why did I never think of that before? Of course that makes sense. So sometimes really, in order to change, you really do need some help. You really do need that outside perspective, somebody with an entirely different perspective. So whether it's me as a coach or somebody else as a coach, you need that. If you've been staying stuck for such a long time, you have to start asking yourself, what is this costing me? What is this costing me personally, mentally, and emotionally? What is this costing me physically? Am I not sleeping at night? What is this costing me financially? Had a chat with somebody who the other day, who is a former client, and one of the things she said to me was, "Oh, I got really depressed, and I just didn't do any work, and so therefore, my month was really awful. I didn't make any money." And it's like, okay, but here's the thing: if you did the tools, if you work with these tools, or again, if you were working with somebody, it would not have happened. So how much did that cost? In my estimation, it probably cost thousands of dollars, thousands upon thousands of dollars. And this is what we do to ourselves on an ongoing basis. We keep getting stuck. We keep just saying, okay, well, this is just an anomaly. Tomorrow it'll change, or whatever. But you have to be really clear about what you're asking for. You need to be really, you really need to feel it. And if there is any of that, like hesitation, that resistance, you need to get rid of that. That is the formula. That, plain and simple, that's the formula. Because again, when you can get into that state of that feeling of the thing happening over and over again, you can practice that, and you get into the state of actually knowing. And when you get into that state of knowing, it shows up. If you're not there yet, and you haven't been able to do that on an ongoing basis for yourself, then you really probably need to be part of my mastermind, or at least do a VIP day with me. I'm going to be announcing a really fun one coming up shortly. But we need to kind of get in and dig some stuff out and work on that, so you can actually now start to have what it is that you want. So if you want to chat about that, and you want my help, please set up a time for us to talk. Just a 15-minute chat, just to find out if I can help you. And then if I think I can, we'll just find out a few more things if we're, really a match. And if so, then we'll have a longer conversation. So this 15-minute thing, there's no strings attached. So I'm not selling. It's just a fact-finding mission for both of us. So if you are interested in that, go to nolimitsbusinesswoman.com/talk. Okay, again, nolimitsbusinesswoman.com www.thebrandingcoach.com/talk, and let's have that chat. But in the meantime, focus, feel, and get rid of the stories. Okay? Just keep getting rid of the stories. I would love if you would comment below. Come over to the No Limits Businesswoman private Facebook page and join in a conversation about this. Ask any questions and I will answer them. Yeah, but again, question, like this, share this. I would love if you would do that. Okay, until next week, have a fabulous, fabulous week. I don't have my list for next week of topics yet. So I'll be sending that out in the next week, probably next Monday. But in the meantime, have a fabulous week and I will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.